welcome to my home. I've had lots of requests for a house tour and I plan to do it after I'd have everything decorated, but I think that's gonna take a while. So we'll do one today and it's a little bare bones, and then we'll do one later after things are decorated, and then you can see the results. So let's go on in. Okay, so I've just come inside and we're gonna go up the stairs, and on either side of the stairway there's a really pretty imprint. I think it's printed on tin and then it's been painted over the many years that this house has been around. It was built in 1930, so I think it's such a pretty little detail. And now let's go up the stairs to the house. So one of the first things I loved when I walked into this house is just how big and open it feels. So even though this is a hallway, it's really wide, and the ceiling height is great throughout the whole house. It's 9.5 feet, so it makes everything feel really open and expansive. I think in the last 4 places we lived, we've always had overheight ceilings, so now it's something that we've become accustomed to because it really does make the place feel just so much bigger. And what I love is I'll pan up and I'll show you the crown molding on everything because I think it's really pretty. And the floors throughout the house are beautiful as well. They might be original or replaced a long time ago. And we used to have floors like this in one of those small apartments that we lived in Victoria. So it really felt like home as soon as we walked into this place. So I'll give you a quick look around and then we will head into the office. So this is where I've been spending most of my time in the house, is my little office. So I love it because there's a lot of light coming in, there's windows all on the side, and there's even a little patio area. So I think that'll be awesome in the summer when I can go out and work and have a cup of coffee first thing in the morning. And again, we have the really tall ceilings, and it's very light. Even though it's a small room, everything's painted very light, which is also great for filming because I can also bounce light off of the walls. Now, the whole house is pretty echoey at the moment because there's not a lot of soft furnishings. So hopefully the echo will come down as we start getting more and more pieces, or at least like rugs and things that can help soak up that extra bounce. But it's just such a really calming place to work because there's not too much in here, and even though it's a small room, it still feels really spacious. So I'll just give you a quick tour of the room itself. So these windows are one of my favorite things in this entire room. There's the 3 windows in the center and then 2 angled ones on the side, and it brings in so much light and so much character with the angles, and all of the details like the leaded glass and the casing is so pretty. So what I think is really cool is they've kept the old vintage windows, but they put modern ones on the outside, so you still get the comfort of like the heat staying in, which is going to be really important for winter, and it also protects from sound from the street as well. So I just loved these windows. It totally sold this entire room because it gives it so much character. And the guy who did the renovation on the place before we bought it did an excellent job of keeping these modern, or keeping the vintage pieces but bringing in the modern as well. Like we also have a lot of pot lights everywhere, so you get really nice lighting throughout the house, but then still these classic details that you don't find everywhere, so it's really neat to maintain them, and I just love it. I think it's so pretty. If you're following the Montreal Chronicles Facebook page, you might have seen a post about how I was removing varnish from old glass doors. So this is where it all started, these ones right here. I really love these doors because they have, each pane has a beveled edge, so it's really pretty, and you can even see the bubbles within the glass from how it was created back in the day. And throughout time, when people have revarnished the doors, I guess little splashes have ended up on the glass itself. So what I was doing is carefully going through removing it, and it was kind of cool because you could see the different layers and different colors of varnish over time. So it was a little history of this place all in these doors. I also did the same thing for these original cabinets that are in this room. So they're pretty cool. They're all leaded glass as well, and each pane is individual. So if you look at the doors, if you open it up and look down the side, you can see the different bulges where the glass was laid down and it didn't exactly fit. So I think it's kind of cool because you don't see that very often anywhere else. I mean, it's amazing that they've survived. There's a couple panes that are cracked, but they're still holding on. They think that they're fine. They don't seem to be moving at all. So I'm just gonna leave them be. And I think they're just pretty just the way they are. So let's take a closer look at the cabinets. I was really curious about the swing door in between the dining room and the hallway. I've only seen something like that in a restaurant, and the principle is actually really similar. Apparently they used to have hired help back in the day, and this way they could have people go back and forth with their trays of food and be able to push the door open with their back so to not disturb the tray. Welcome to the kitchen, as you can see. Now, Sam and I have lived in about 10 or 11 different places together, and this kitchen is bigger than several of the other kitchens we've had combined. So we're really appreciating being in here. And it's funny that cooking is so much more enjoyable when you're not like crashing into each other the whole time. So we have a full-size oven, which we haven't had in ages. That is awesome. Lots and lots of cabinet space. And I like that they put in these soft closing cupboards, and even though this is a completely new kitchen, they had to because right before this place got sold to the renovator, there was a kitchen fire. So the entire place had to be gutted, but it still kept a lot of the really nice period details. He used glass subway tiles, so I thought that was really cool, mixing really traditional with more modern elements, and he put in the crown molding at the top of all the cupboards, so I think that's really pretty. Now this leads out onto the deck, so it's a really big, beautiful deck, and I was super lucky when we moved here that October was unseasonably warm, like super warm, and I was able to spend a couple days out there just really enjoying it, and especially because we're on the second level of overheight levels, we're really up in the trees, so it's kind of a cool perspective to look out and sort of be along the treetop line, which is kind of fun. I've never had that before. So it's a really pretty view, and I really look forward to spending some summertime out there and doing some work out there and just sitting and enjoying the evenings as well. So let's go take a look. In our bedroom, we've got a long way to go. We're still living out of suitcases at this point, but we are really enjoying the second bathroom with our big bathtub, so that's a nice thing. Our second bedroom is just storing some boxes, so we'll have to go through all of these pretty soon. Thank you so much for coming home with me. I loved showing you around, and I'll take you for another tour next time when I've got things a little more together around the house. Bye!